And welcome back to Talk of Alabama. We are so excited today to be at the Talladega Insurance Agency, the oldest, I should mention, in the state of Alabama, and the third oldest in the country, dating back to 1858. And I am now joined by the family of this agency. We have Boyd next to me, McGehee, his mother, Miss Evelyn McGehee, and Dr. Horace Patterson, city councilman as well, joining me to talk about the life and the legacy of the owner, Mr. Bill McGehee. And if you know Talladega, it goes hand in hand when you hear the name Bill McGehee, your father, your husband, and your friend. Welcome to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mom, let's start with you. Tell me a little bit about you guys moving back here and the life you had.
Well, we moved back here in 1974, and we were expecting our first child. We had 2 more children. And I think that my husband, from growing up here and his childhood and his family, his mother and grandfather and great-grandfather before him, could see what a wonderful town Talladega was in which to bring up a family, and the community spirit and the friends that you have in Talladega, that just solid foundation that is hard to find nowadays. And it is here, and it was here when we came, and I think he envisioned how much fun it was to go to work every day and see people on the street and work with people that you knew and be involved in city opportunities and projects that could bring good to our town and were fun to be involved in along the way.
And your husband was really, as you said, involved in church and the schools. He was a graduate at University of Alabama, correct?
Right, he was, 1972.
And the youngest Eagle Scout at the age of 12?
Right, almost 13, but still one of the youngest in the country by far, still one of the youngest. And you know, he just was able to be involved in those things because Talladega was welcoming city that, you know, where it was easy to be a part of sports and community things and church things. It was just around the corner. So that's what I think he wanted for his family.
And speaking of involvement, tell me a little bit from your perspective what Bill was involved in.
Just about everything good that was going on in this community. Bill and his family made the decision to return to Talladega in 1974. Well, in 1974, I moved to Talladega. It was the first opportunity I had actually had to be a part of this community. I'd heard a lot of positive things about it and so forth, but as fate would have it, there was a blood drive that was to take place, and I was recruited, and they said, and don't worry about it, we've got somebody that's going to help you. And I said, okay, and they said, Bill McGehee. Well, I didn't know who Bill McGehee was. Bill McGehee didn't know who Horace Patterson was, but we gelled. We gelled beautifully because of our hearts and our commitments to help this community make the most of its opportunities. I've spent 6 terms on the Talladega City Council, and I cannot think of a single important event that we were engaged in where Bill was not actively encouraging and actively pushing all of us forward for the best. That was Bill. He could see good in places where others missed it. I can recall an epitaph about a small girl, and it said this: she made us better when she was with us. That's what Bill McGehee did. While he was with us, he made all of us better. He was a world traveler, so he had no parochial mindset. He was open to all of the vastness and goodness that exists in the world. And he wanted to bring it here, and he wanted to pull people together. And he did in a really magnificent way.
And we can't even have time for everything, but he was involved in Kiwanis, Red Cross Blood Drive, Citizens Hospital Board, Independent Insurance Agents Board, Alabama Preservation Trust. The list goes on and on when it comes to his involvement in the community. And that's something that I assume that he led by example and encouraged other people, young people here that are moving back, to be involved.
You're exactly right. Bill found serving to be something that was easy to do because of his philosophy, his creativity, and his strong Christian foundation that we are our brother's keepers, that we can make life better for others regardless of what happened in the past. Let's take what we have here at this particular time and make the most of it. And Bill just was consistently involved in that. When we worked with the various governments around here to lure Honda to this area, Bill was just active, and I can recall he would call in the morning knowing things were getting close, and he said, how's it going? And I said, great. And then he'd say, what do you need me to do? What do you need me to do? And that was his attitude. That was his mindset. You know, if something needs to be done, I'll do it. And what a wonderful, amazing life this guy has lived. And we will always be better because he passed our way.
And Boyd, as a child of Bill McGehee, what do you see as his dream for Talladega?
His dream for Talladega was an ongoing dream. He wanted Talladega to be a destination place that people would want to travel to, filled with places to visit, whether it was the Talladega Walk of Fame, the Ritz Theater, numerous events that he would always try to use to lure people in from the race, block parties on the square. He wanted Talladega to be a wonderful place to visit if you were on the outside. But if you were on the inside, he wanted to provide a quality of life for the people that lived here at all times. So if there was a vacant weekend, he would try to find something to entertain on that weekend or to do. And so all these different organizations that he started or founded or participated in, to get them off the ground, he would come up with an event along the way to have fun and to serve that organization. So there are numerous events that we participate in town from. We have a drawdown out at the racetrack on Pitt Road that he came up with. We have a Mardi Gras ball that used to be the largest Mardi Gras ball and parade north of Mobile. And I believe that's in its 25th year now. So Bill wanted to have fun, and he wanted everybody else to share in the passion that he had for Talladega.
And Evelyn, you and Bill were married for 45 years, so you saw him implement these dreams, right?
I did, and it was always something new and always something he would be excited about. And he didn't meet a stranger, and any stranger he met, he invited to dinner. And I think that his main thing was to get people involved, and he would invite them to come to the Mardi Gras, or come watch the parade, or come, buy tickets for the shrimp thing, or come help cook the shrimp or something. If you were a part of it, then you had some ownership in it, and you had some excitement about it yourself. And I think he brought in people. He brought in people from Sylacauga and Pell City to help with Talladega events, that are still helping with Talladega events. That I would be amazed that these people would come participate in our small town, but he got them excited about it. And I think that is the key to anything, probably, but especially a small town, is everyone helping and everyone participating, because then everyone knows the effort that went in, and everyone knows the benefits that come out. And you can see the progress along the way. And after 45 years, we can see the progress. And there are wonderful events or businesses unfolding on the square, and new buildings that are being revitalized, and new restaurants and stores and just in new things that are helping our town spirit and appearance, and that we're all excited about. So I think we can see the progress.
And boy, Dr. Patterson talked about your father's legacy from a friend's point of view. But to close this out, from a son's point of view, what do you see his legacy to be, and what would you think or imagine that he would want people to remember him for?
Well, first off, my father was a very selfless person. He loved the quote by Ronald Reagan, "The world would be a lot better off if we don't seek the credit." So he would just want everything that he's played a role in, obviously to be ongoing, but he would like the momentum that Talladega has right now to continue on. And Dr. Patterson had a wonderful eulogy at my father's funeral, and so many people walked out with civic pride after the funeral, and he would want that momentum to carry forward. He would probably want people to know that my mother was the brainchild of a lot of things, and he had a very supportive wife along the way to help him do all that he did. His favorite movie was It's a Wonderful Life, and our family truly believes that he did have a wonderful life, and he was George Bailey. He did so much for the town and so much for pure love for Talladega, and because he believes that Talladega has so much to be proud of. He always said, if Talladega is rich in anything, we're rich in history. We have so much wonderful historical things here to be proud of, and he would want that pride to just gain momentum and carry forward.
And I have to say, the magic of being in one TV market for this long, I've been here in Alabama for 10 years, so I actually got to meet their father and husband and friend. I brought my parents to an event here in Talladega, and I think, me personally, humble would be the word that I would use to describe him. Just very down to earth and humble and authentic. And it's hard to find that. It's hard to find those real people that you can connect with. And from a personal side note, I will say that Bill McGehee was the epitome of that. So we certainly are glad that we all got together today to honor his life and his legacy. And we thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you as well. We got to take a quick commercial break. Come see them, come meet them, come play and hang out with the amazing and fun people right here in Talladega. We'll see you the next time you're in town.